You know, that's all Islam means is submission to the will of God. A Muslim is one who practices submission to the will of God. So I'm really just embracing my
What was
nature.
already there in you?
It was already there anyway.
Got you. Okay.
So as a result of that, as I'm embracing my nature and learning more about myself, I've just became a more insightful person. I don't really think that, I got a lot of friends who consult me for advice and, all of these different things. And it's really not me. This is Allah working through me for somebody else, So that's all it is. But it made me a much better father, much better father.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you about that, but just can you dispel like some of the rumors or negative things that those of us who are not practicing as Muslim, what are some of the things that you can dispel? Like, people have all these assumptions that are not necessarily true. What are some of the
Right,
things that you think
right.
people have that are not true?
Mainly, well, in the Nation of Islam, they say, well, we don't believe in Jesus. We don't read the Bible. Um, we kill Malcolm. Um, so they think that we choose between either the Quran or the Bible. We use the Quran, like we study from both books.
Hmm.
We study the Bible and we study the Quran because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there's us, you can find us black people on every page of the scriptures. So if you study that, then you can find yourself in the scriptures. So I won't get into the theology of it, but we're taught that a good Muslim is a good Christian. And a good Christian is a good Muslim because we strive to be Christ-like. You know, um, we just have different we have different beliefs on the divinity of Jesus, but and I don't like to get into that. But for the most part, like a good Christian is a good Muslim because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if you just treat people how you want to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
that solves all of the problems that we have going on in our uh, marriages, our relationships with our children, even AJ. I
That's
treat AJ differently than I did my other children because I didn't have this teaching. You know, I didn't have Islam to guide me as a way to rear my children. Because if you look at the word Allah, Allah has 99 attributes, 99 names of Allah, which are attributes. So he's a fashioner. A fashioner is one who like takes something and shapes and forms it. You know what I mean? So if you look at your children, what are you trying to shape and fashion your children to be? What are you trying to mold your children to be? You know, he's the all forgiving one.
Mm-hmm.
We have to practice forgiveness with our children, regardless as to what they do. We have to forgive them for certain things. Um, uh, the most appreciative, the most loving, the most gentle, like all of these different things. I just take those attributes
Mm-hmm.
and
As a parent.
practice and apply them to I'm rearing AJ.
Gotcha. How
And
many
it's
children do you have?
three. I have let's see, my oldest son is 23. My baby is my daughter is 21, and then AJ is 5. So
So you got some grown-up kids, and then you went and had this little baby?
dip back, yeah.
What you wait, okay, now you use the phrase dip back.
Right.
Is,
Get down.
so is the mom to AJ the other kid's mom?
No, ma'am.
Oh, not that kind of dip back.
Oh no. We don't dip back like that. Dip back meaning like I was already finished. One was out of high school, one was in the 12th grade, one was in the 10th grade, and then here come AJ.
Okay. So being a practicing Muslim has changed you for the better. It made you a better parent and all these different things. So that verbiage makes me believe that before you were not as good. Where were you failing in some of those, or not failing, maybe not, where were you not as good in some of those other areas in life? Well, you know,
I was failing in a lot of areas because with my oldest children, like my daughter never gave me any problems. Like she's the perfect child, right? Mm-hmm. My oldest son was a challenge because I was 18, what, 19.
A baby yourself.
Right. Just got out of high school, started a family. So when I was 21, I had 2 children. So with him, it was more so you do what I say regardless. Like there was no grace, there was no mercy.
We got that bad as Black parents.
We felt like I was terrible. Like I was always hands-on. I've never missed any doctor's appointments. First step, everything. I've always been hands-on with them. But I was arrogant. I was selfish. I was extremely arrogant. What I say went. Like you could not question me about anything. Like my children could never question me about anything. So that caused a lot of friction between my oldest son and I because I just did it all wrong. And so once me and my father reestablished our relationship, because we didn't have a relationship for a long time.
From what age to what age did you not have a
Now he and my mother married when they were teenagers. That didn't work. He moved to Detroit when I was like 2 years old. I may have saw him a couple of times. Now, a couple of times from maybe 3 or 4, I could rarely remember until I think my mom sent me to live with him when I was like 9th grade. So I hadn't seen him maybe but once or twice in years. So my mom kicked me out the house, so I got to go live with my father.
Was that here in Memphis, 9th grade?
Right.
Okay.
So I had to go live with my father. I hadn't seen him in I don't know how long. So now I got to go from basically doing what I wanted to do. Going to school when I wanted to go to school. Skipping school, not really paying attention. Like I had terrible grades in school because I was never there and I didn't care. Because I just didn't, I've always felt like alone, you know. So
instability in kids will do that.
It was just terrible. Like, and I'm not, no shade to my mother because, and through Islam, the minister helped show me that, you know, sometimes our parents just do the best they can with what they have.
Right.
Mama can't give you what mama don't have.
Yeah. And you have to have a forgiving grace to your parents, you know, and you know, that's something that we talk about a lot in my practice in mental health with the parents that we deal with. Like, yes, it's important to know what your parents did or didn't do that might have been a factor to who you are, because our personalities are our personalities and shaped by a lot of different things. But when you grow and you start to see your parent as a person, and take them off of this pedestal, you can stop punishing them for things that they didn't know.
Oh, absolutely.
Wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was one of the things that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught me to honor. Like we read, honor your father and mother and all these, honor your parents and all these different things in the scriptures, but do we really know what that means?
Yeah, right,
You
right.
know, do we really know what honoring them means? Like we have to give them the same amount of grace and forgiveness that Allah gives us. So as that was revealed to me, that strengthened my relationship with my mother. But it was very strange because keep in mind, I'm moving from place to place. Like I never really had friends growing up
Mhm.
because, prime example, we left Mississippi. I was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So we left from Mississippi, came to Memphis, was in school for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. By the time I'm getting people names down good, now we moved to Sandusky, Ohio.
Hmm.
So I'm there in Sandusky, Ohio. I may have been there 2 months in school. As I'm learning people names and getting cool and things of that nature, then we moved to Racine, Wisconsin. So when I moved there and going through the things that I went through there, by the time I'm adjusting to that, we moved to Milwaukee.
Hmm.
Went to like 2 schools there.
Yeah.
After that, now we moved back down. So it was I'm always moving around. So I never really had friends growing up. You know
And
what I mean?
and then like I'm sure you noticed this too, thinking back, school systems are different within a city, let alone Mississippi to Memphis to up north. Like that's like why would you struggle with some stability and then you got shipped off to your dad who's a virtual stranger to you.
Right, right.
So let me ask you this though. You're a better father, you're a better friend, a brother, and all these things.
Right.
Was you a terrible boyfriend too?
No, I was never, no. I really, man, look, I think that I really was the best man. Yes, sir. Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I think that I don't think I was bad. No. I'm always thoughtful, nice, kind, considerate. Um,
I would love to get your baby's mother's names and see if they could come chat.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what they will say. They will always say, Ray always think he right. You know what I'm saying? Ray would
probably see that.
Now that may be a shocker for most people, but this is what my father taught me about that. He said, Ray, you can't focus on being right, you have to do right. Focus more on doing right than being right. So, but I never mistreated anybody. I talk about cheating a lot, but I ain't cheat on my children's mother. No, never.
Because black men don't cheat, or you really didn't cheat?
We never cheat.
Why little Duval?
None of the black men that I know or have seen on TV or social media cheat.
Why do you take such an antagonistic approach on your Facebook page? To women, because that's who you be antagonizing.
Well, they antagonize themselves. Okay, so listen. I talk about cheating. They antagonize themselves because here's what. I talk about cheating because everybody has an experience with cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Either you've cheated, either you've been cheated on, or somebody you know or knew is still either somebody you know that's cheating, somebody you know been cheated on. Like, so I have such insight on it because that's the way the world works. Like, people are cheaters. People are cheaters.
Except for black men.
Black men are the only demographic that do not indulge in this cheating behavior. Now, black women, they
cannot with you. I will tell you this. I don't know how we became Facebook friends. I don't even know. Sometimes you got a friend that you're really, I think that you guys might actually be really close.
Who?
Tiger, is that his name?
Oh, Tiger. I knew Tiger's older brothers. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know how y'all got on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Y'all post stuff and I'd be like, I'm on the dark side of Facebook. But
Right.
it's interesting, you know, because for me, when I see you guys post things, I don't feel the need to be like, ah,
Yeah.
this is, you know, I understand that that's your experience and or you're being antagonistic. And it's just, you know, it is what it is. I don't feel the need to protect all women or to have to you know, validate my experience.
Right.
My
Right.
experience is different. Now there are
Right.
sometimes though that I'd be like, now he just, and that, look at them.
But guess what though? Now I can't speak for Tiger.
Okay.
But me, I do not give anybody on social media any thought when I post something. I don't say, man, let me piss some folks off today. No, I don't do that. If something pops up in my mind, I might look at how I wrote it to see if it's spell checked, because people would love to see me,
They
you
be
know,
looking for
they would love to see that. But I don't give them that opportunity.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't say I don't know how to spell. You can't say I don't know how to articulate what I'm saying. So now let you say, oh, I'm hurt. Oh, I'm bitter. Like, because I'm talking.
But do you think, like, okay, maybe not for you,
Right.
but do you not see that sometimes that is the case for people, especially on social media? It's like you'll notice sometimes somebody, it's like you can just see that they fresh off of something.
Right.
And you and women do it too. I'm not saying that this
Right.
men, because I see a lot of women do it. And it's like, wait a minute, you all men ain't dogs just because you got dogged out, or
Right.
you vice versa. So people naturally assume that when somebody posts something that is controversial or
Yeah.
not favorable, they automatically assume, okay, well, something didn't happen to you. But it might be like you said, it's somebody you know, something you've seen.
Like, I love my sisters. I love them. I defend them in, you know, different group texts. I've debated with my homeboys several, like we have debates all the time, and I take a certain position defending my sisters. I love them. I will never ever choose anything other than them.
But lost your sound again.
What was I saying?
You were saying you love your sisters, and I said, but
I love them to death. There is no, like, again, in the nation, we'll talk the value of Black women. Like,
that's a beautiful thing to hear.
I love them. You know, we hold them in the highest regards, but they disrespect themselves. They disrespect themselves, and then you want the world to come to an abrupt halt when things don't go your way. There's a certain protocol that women should follow. I'm not going to say what a woman shouldn't do anything but stay at home and have children or things of that nature. But I think what's happening in society is like women have absolutely no knowledge of themselves at all. Because if they did, they wouldn't carry themselves in a certain way.
Do you think that our men have knowledge of themselves?
Absolutely not. Like, all these things were taken from us. We were robbed of all these different things. So this is just a result of what happened. Now, to some degree,
issue.
Right. It's you know, I ain't gonna get on the nation kick, but we just have a different outlook on society. Like, I joke a lot, but we just have a different outlook on society, right? And it really pains me to see women indulging in this behavior. Like, it really pains me.
In
But
pain.
it humors me when you have an issue if I talk about something. Like everybody else, like Vanessa, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can laugh, have fun, talk about certain things, but when I'm hurt, I'm bitter, I'm angry. Like, no, I'm not. I'm in a good place. I don't care. You mad?
On that note,
Hey.
I really think at some point I want you to come back because this was going somewhere, and
Oh,
I
it's
think
look. I really appreciate you, and it's really hard to like get to the root of certain things in such a short time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is something that, and I really applaud you for doing this because we have to have conversations. You
Mhm.
know,
I
with
appreciate.
us, we don't believe in things.
Uh, you and this sound again. And so, what was this wonderful thing you were about to say about therapy?
I was really applauding you for your for being a crusader for therapy because like like all of us have something wrong. There's not a single person on this planet that don't have something wrong with them.
Mhm,
And we have to have therapy and we have to learn how to just talk about things. You
mhm.
know, what people we can trust.
Right, 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 right.
You know, so you coming from a therapist perspective, like that's really helpful and beneficial to us. And I really hope to see you do well. I really hope this thing blow up, and you know we'll see you on uh, Spotify and all these other different platforms because this is much needed. I really appreciate you for this.
Well, thank you. And whether or not it does, of course, that would be great. I really started this project because maybe I'm a little insane. I do therapy 6 days a week with people, but
Yeah,
I just love talking to people.
I do
I
too.
was like, I want to do something a little different, and um, this is it. And I thank you for taking time out of your
Yes, ma'am.
Saturday. Please thank little sweet,
Oh,
gorgeous, beautiful AJ for
yeah, yeah. You
giving us some of
probably
your
heard me.
time.
And also, I'm gonna say this: I come across as a monster on here, but I have a lot of friends, a lot of female friends who confide in me because they love my perspective on certain things, especially dealing with these men out here.
You're gonna give them the raw truth.
I always do. The way I'm the same way on or off social media. This ain't no act. But I appreciate you for having me, though. I thank you, though.
Thank you. And I'm gonna have you back because I want to hear. I definitely want to hear some more about this male female thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, we'll take that offline because you know.
I ain't gonna play
Yeah,
with you today though.
yeah. Yeah. All right, have a good one.